Hi everyone, Jordyn Kaufman here. On behalf of all of National Board, I'd like to apologize for the break in the weekly Dvar Torahs, but they're starting up again, so keep posted. Okay, class of Jordyn, I'm not going to talk about the Parsha, but if anyone's really disappointed by that and wants to learn more about this week's Parsha, just message me on Facebook. I'll hook you up with something really cool. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about something very close to my own heart, and in order to do that, I'm going to start off with a personal story. So in 9th grade, I was sitting in my global studies class, and I'm not going to say my teacher's name because this is on YouTube and that just wouldn't be right. And we were talking about a war. I don't remember exactly what war it was. What I do remember is that it was the Japanese people who decided they were going to kill all the Chinese people that were living on the island of Japan. Which I'm not downgrading, that's awful. It's awful. But it wasn't anywhere near 6 million people. I don't even think it was near 1 million people who were killed. So when we were learning about this in class, my teacher said, and for anyone who's having trouble grasping this concept, it's like the Holocaust. And I said, I'm sorry, what? Like the Holocaust? And she said, yeah, it's just like that. Like one group of people killing another group of people. And I said, you know what, I really don't see that resemblance, and that actually offends me that you would say that because the Holocaust is a very big deal to me, so can you just not say that? And she said, no, I'm going to keep using that comparison. Now at this point, I looked around at the class, and everyone was giving me the look of like, Jordyn, just quit while you're ahead, don't keep talking back to the teacher, it's not a good idea. But being who I am, I had to stand up for myself. So I said to her, you know what, could you please stop saying that? And she said, no, I'm not going to stop saying that. I'm using this comparison. And I said, okay, well, you know what? It really offends me that you would say that because I had a lot of family, a lot of brothers and sisters, Jews, that died in the Holocaust. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. And some of my relatives had to go through crazy things just to survive, the ones that did survive. One of my cousins had to jump off a moving train to survive. And one of my cousins, in order to escape death, was locked in a closet for 3 years without coming out. 3 years. When he finally got out, he didn't even know what light looked like anymore. So you know what? If you would just stop comparing it to the Holocaust, that would be great because I really, really don't like you saying that. It offends me. At this point, the entire class was just in complete shock. No one ever talks like that to teachers, ever. That's like grounds for expulsion. And my teacher said to me, you know what, Jordyn? If you're going to talk to me like that, why don't you head down to the principal's office? And normally, when a teacher says to someone, go to the principal's office, the entire class goes, ooh, but no one said anything. The room was completely silent. And I said, you know what? I will go to the principal's office. And while I'm there, I'll tell him how I told you I was offended by something you were saying, and you kept on saying it. I'm sure he'll love that. After that, she told me to just sit back down. So I guess that shut her up. Now, I wouldn't ever recommend anyone being that rude to a teacher. I would not have been surprised if I was expelled, but I had to stand up for myself. There are so many people around the world who deny the existence of the Holocaust, or who it's not a big deal to at all, or who just hate you because you are Jewish. It doesn't matter. They could have never met you. They just hate you because you're Jewish. And that's terrible that we have so many enemies around the world. But what about other Jews? There's a lot of problems between the different sects of Judaism, like ultra-Orthodox, modern Orthodox, conservative, reform, where, for lack of a better term, certain sects of Judaism are hating on other sects of Judaism. How can that be? We're brothers and sisters, we're Jews, we've all been through everything together. This has been our fight, all of us. How can people hate on each other like that? That teacher was Jewish. I think that's the part that hurt me most of all. She probably had relatives that went through the Holocaust and didn't survive. She probably had relatives that did survive and has heard of their struggle. She's a global studies teacher. She knows about the Holocaust. How could a fellow Jew speak like that? If we're fighting each other, if the Jews are fighting their brothers and sisters, their Jewish brothers and sisters, that's the worst thing that could happen. Because then the enemy, the people that hate us just because we're Jewish, they don't have to fight us. They just have to sit and watch us destroy ourselves. They just sit back. It's like a great show for them. They don't have to do anything. We do all the work for them. And how awful is that? When we have so many enemies in the world, we get to unite together against those enemies. We can't keep this separation. It's not right. Now, as far as standing up for yourself, it's all about passion. I have this one friend who I'm not going to say his name because he'll be super embarrassed, but I talk to him a lot about different aspects of Judaism and just random stuff. And everything he says, every word he says, you can just tell is filled with so much passion. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He believes it. He stands by it. And you can just feel his passion. Every time he speaks, I just fall in love with whatever he's saying. And it makes me care more about what he's saying. And it makes me passionate about what he's saying, even if I'm not passionate about it in the first place. Just because he speaks with such eloquence and passion. We all have the ability to speak like that. If you make it your job to care enough about yourself and who you are and what you believe in and what you would stand behind till the death, then you can make other people care too, and you can make other people see it. And even if they don't care, maybe they'll respect you for it. We all have the ability to make people fall in love with our words and to make people stand behind what we stand behind and what we believe in and stand behind us. And you know what? For the people that hate us just because we're Jewish, for the people that won't ever stand behind us, they're not worth it. They're not worth talking to. They're not worth dealing with. So you know what? You just walk away. Because they're not worth your fight. They aren't worth your passion. We all have the ability to stand up for what we believe in and to make people fall in love with our words. We all have passion. We just need to know how to use it. Okay. I know that was a lot. If anyone has any more questions about anything, because I know that was a lot to chew and I wanted to keep it kind of short, please talk to me about it. I love talking to new people. Just message me on Facebook. I'm very approachable, I promise. So yeah, everyone have an amazing Shabbat. I'm going to be in Buffalo for upstate New York's Regional Yerchai Kala. But yeah, everyone have an amazing Shabbat and stay tuned for next week's Dvar Torah.